Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and as a guy, you hear a lot of things on the internet of women care about this, or do women care about this? A whole list of requirements and different things that you guys think that women care about. So I have a group of 7 girls here with me today. I put a list together of some of the most common things I see online that women care about. So today we're gonna find out if they actually care or not. Let's get into it. So number 1 would be his car.
Yes, and I like when guys keep their cars clean. Like if there's stuff all over, like trash and cups and whatever, that just kind of gives me the ick. The make and model and year don't really matter to me, but just like, I don't know, being respectful of the things you have and, you know, just being cleanly and things like that, I really appreciate. So yeah.
It matters to me because I want to be in like a safe, nice, reliable car. It doesn't need to be like anything sexy or crazy, but I've been in situations in the past when I would be with like a guy and his car is like constantly breaking down, or like he can't come see me because his car isn't reliable.
I think it does matter to a certain degree. It doesn't need to necessarily be something crazy nice, but I think it goes back to the cheap thing. If a guy is driving a shitbox car and he's too cheap to repair it, it's just not safe. That's unattractive to me. And I guess if a guy does drive a really nice car, it's harder to walk away. I wouldn't say it's everything.
It doesn't matter to me because it just depends on like what kind of phase of life he's going through. You know, if he's struggling but he's working hard and he just needs a $3,000 beater to get him to point A to point B, you know, the grind and the struggle of that I respect. So for me personally, it doesn't matter if he drives a nice car, as long as he has a car.
Okay, that's I think a good
Yeah, as long as he has a car.
So for me, it matters in the sense of, is it reliable? Is it burning oil when I get in the car? Is it unsafe to get in? As long as you have a safe, reliable vehicle that is not embarrassing to pick your girl up in, it doesn't really matter too much. Just make sure you take care of your precious cargo.
To me, yes, it's not really about like the make and model of the car, but reliable, clean, you like take care of maintenance of the car.
As long as it's clean and it's taken care of, I don't think a lot of girls would mind what kind of car he drives. If he's saving up his money to be more responsible with his finances and his future goals, then car is not a deal breaker, as long as it's clean. I can get if you like cars and you're a car person and you have a nice car but you're humble about it, then that's way more attractive than, you know, being cocky about it.
Okay. Number 2 is his manners.
Very important. Yes, they absolutely matter. When I go on dates, when I even go get coffee with a guy, I look to see how he treats everybody else. If he's saying thank you, hi, how are you? I always grew up with manners are very important in my family. So yeah, to women, I think it's very important because it shows how they're going to treat you.
Oh, that definitely matters to me. You have to have good manners. I want you to meet my family.
Very much matter to me, especially like if we're out to eat at a restaurant. I don't like people that are rude to service industry people or just anyone in general. I really like friendly people. So yeah, manners are a huge thing to me.
Manners do matter a lot, especially how you treat your girlfriend, treat any woman in your life, and treat elders. That's a gateway into how you would treat your future partner or what kind of person you are. So that's a great way to get an insight on what kind of person you are.
I think that definitely matters. Manners are kind of what determines how you feel around them, how they make you feel. So I think that's one of the most important things.
Yes, manners matter. Because I feel like that's something that can't be taught. Like manners are just instilled in you at a younger age.
Absolutely matters. I know I was raised correctly, and I'm very particular on how a gentleman talks to me, so I definitely demand the highest respect possible, and I would hope that my partner wants the same things.
Okay, and can you give like examples of gestures or manners that men might do on a first date or just in general that would stand out to you in a good way?
Definitely opening doors. I think that is the hugest thing for myself as a woman that a lot of guys don't think to do or don't think is a nice gesture, but these pretty hands should not be touching door handles. So I think that's a huge thing. Pulling out the chair for a woman when they're coming to dinner is very nice as well. If you guys order a bottle of wine, allow her to taste it, make sure she's comfortable with the atmosphere that you set for the evening, and really just focus on her.
I just like when guys are friendly to everyone. Like when I go out, I don't know, I always try to be like hello to people, and I like when a guy matches that energy. I really hate when people are rude to strangers for no reason. So yeah, and I think it's really sweet too. If a guy opens the door for me or walks me to my car, that's a huge thing. That goes a long way. It makes me feel like, I don't know, really respected and valued. So yeah.
Yeah, I always notice when like a man opens the door, so that's a good manner to have. How they are around my family, like respect of elders, like my grandparents, like offering up a seat. Like if I'm like in a public transportation type setting and I notice like a younger middle-aged man sitting down and he doesn't offer the seat to maybe like an older person, that always stands out to me.
Being considerate of your needs, if you're coming over, cleaning up before you get there. Being open to communication, no gaslighting. I don't even know if that's I feel like that's just common decency, but I feel like it falls under.
Definitely opening the door, being chivalrous, being a gentleman, making eye contact. Eye contact is big for me and a lot of women. Just your body language and the way you carry yourself, the way you talk to servers, the way you open doors for strangers. These little things do matter a lot to women, definitely.
Definitely, I think if you're walking like in the street and he stands closest to the street. I also like when they're kind of protective, not as in like overbearing, but just kind of like standing close to you. I don't know if you go on a first date and you're in a crowded place, just making sure he's right by your side. And it kind of does go back to the manners things because, you know, I really observe if I'm on a date or with a guy, I observe how he treats other people. So if he's respectful, saying please, thank you, and he's just a warm guy, then that's going to get my attention. But I'm not big on like huge gestures. Like if we were to go to dinner, I wouldn't expect you to pay the whole bill or things like that. It would be nice, but I think it's just a preference of the female. I'm a little bit more laid back, but some females are more, I don't want to say high maintenance because that's not the right term, but they expect more of the gestures. For me, it's more of like a soul connection. While gestures are important and nice, but it's like for me.
Okay, so something like so little, I don't know if this is even considered a manner, but I love when I'm walking on the street or like the sidewalk and the guy's like taking the street side and I'm like inside closer to like the buildings. I feel like that is like an important manner that goes unnoticed because like if something were to happen, it's like the guy's out there and I'm like safe. Another, like just opening up doors, like I don't know if this is like really old school, but offering like to pay the bill like the first date or something, like definitely picking up the bill and continuing, you know, to put effort and not expecting like me to pick up.
Number 3 is his job title.
To me, that doesn't matter so much. If he loves what he's doing and he shows up every day on time, I don't think it matters too much.
That definitely matters right now, but I feel like I'm also at the age when we're all getting like established in our careers, so it doesn't matter to like the point where I would be completely like turned off by someone because what you're doing now can be so different than what you're doing next year.
It depends on your age and if you're working towards, if you're ambitious and you're driven, that matters a lot, and it doesn't really matter where you are in life, but more so where you want to go. That's the big thing for me is ambition and drive.
No, that doesn't really matter to me. I think what's more important is if they are doing something that they like, but that's not always possible, but I feel like job title doesn't really matter to me that much.
I think it matters. Yeah, I think it matters. I would probably not be comfortable bringing someone home who's a porn star. Wouldn't be comfortable telling my parents that. So, yeah.
No, job title doesn't matter too much because I think that's like an age thing. I wouldn't want my job title to matter too much to somebody else because I'm young and we can all grow.
I mean, the title is important. I mean, I think it does matter, but then again, it's also situational, you know, because he could be somebody's assistant at a big company, and then maybe one day he could be a boss at that big company. So, exactly, it just kind of goes back to his drive and his motivation and how hard he's willing to work.
What about his salary?
Yeah, it definitely matters because like money security, like financial security is important to me. But as long as like we have enough money to, I don't know, go on dates and like do like concerts, like fun stuff.
No, doesn't really matter. If he has goals, like if the salary's not amazing right now, but he has goals for himself and, you know, he's working towards something, that's important to me. But everyone's in different places at different times. So I feel like immediate salary, just as long as we could still have fun.
If his bills are paid and he treats me right, I don't think money should be an object because it doesn't last forever.
No, salary not too much. As long as you're making like a decent income for yourself and you can live within those means.
I would say like same answer as his job title. It doesn't really matter what you're making right now, but if you're ambitious and you have like high expectations for yourself and high goals for yourself, then that's very attractive.
It is important because, you know, for me as a female, I plan to be making a certain amount at a certain age. And the man that I expect to be with, I want him to be a hustler and a go-getter too. And, you know, the harder you work, the more you work, the higher you're going to move up, the more your salary is going to raise. So also, if you plan to be with somebody and you plan to have a family, you have to support your children and each other. So I do think salary matters because it's, you know, kind of going to show you what the future is going to look like and what kind of struggles or what kind of things you can do.
I wouldn't say it doesn't matter. I think, you know, if we're thinking about a long-term thing, we're partners. So thinking about things in that way, I had to consider what my salary is and what kind of life we want to live. If he's making less money than me and I'm the breadwinner, I personally would be uncomfortable just from what I'm making at this moment. If we're like at a point where I feel like I'm comfortable on my own, we'd be fine together, I really don't care. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there a number that stands out to you as like a decent salary? Like something that you would be like, okay, he needs to make this much money.
I don't think there's a number in mind, especially for right now, but I would say if he's not ever making more than, let's say, $100,000, then I would be a little bit worried about our future.
I'm gonna say like in the 70s. I don't know. There's like the gender wage gap, so I don't even know.
I would say enough to live a life of leisure in a sense, like not have to worry about your rent, your utilities, stuff like that, but also obviously a more desirable man would be able to take care of our kids, of myself, of our older parents. So I would say somewhere between $400K to wherever. Like there's no bar.
At 23, if I were to be dating a man right now, 80K is pretty good. 80 to 100K is what I'd be looking for. Yeah, somewhere around 80 to 100K in your mid-20s.
I think 6 figures is definitely decent it's a little you got to work hard for it nowadays, but for an income, you know, to create a family and things of that nature, like at least 100,000 is acceptable. I mean, we'll take less, but it just depends on your job and your career and what you're doing.
Yeah, a lot of girls have said that, and I actually just recently read the statistic where only 2% of men between the ages of 20 and 40 make six figures and are over 6 feet, which is like two of the things that women typically say they want.
Right.
But it's crazy to think about the fact that there's only 2% of men
Yeah, that are out
making
there.
that much. Yeah.
I'll take a short guy that makes $1 million all day long.
That's a fair compromise, right?
Yeah, that's sad because I plan to be making 100K or more, hopefully before 30. So
It's just crazy.
that is crazy.
Yeah, and then when all girls want that, they're all going after the same men, and it's like, what are you gonna do?
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I'll have to get into a different industry. I got
His hobbies.
Yes. So for me, like, I'm not a gym rat. So someone that was a gym rat, I don't think that it would really work just because that's not what I'm doing. But I love when our hobbies align or interests, just like what we like to do. I think it really helps your relationship and the quality time you can spend. Like, my boyfriend and I love to just play cards together, go see shows, things like that. So you don't have to have all the same hobbies, but I think it's really fun too to introduce each other to new hobbies and just try to, you know, do new things. But yeah.
Hobbies matter a lot to me. They must be aligned with something that we want to do together. It's kind of like counting it as our quality time together. I think that makes the relationship very, very strong, is shared hobbies. And even if I don't like some of the hobbies that he has, I would try to be a part of it as like a supportive partner, and vice versa. I would expect the same from him.
Definitely. Oh my God. Definitely matters. Because, you know, me personally, what I look for a man, I like creative. So in his spare time, is he working? Is he reading? Is he doing photography? Is he doing things that is going to better himself? I think hobbies are very important because it's what we do besides work. So, you know, your hobbies, they don't define you, but they say a lot about who you are as a person. You know, if you like to nap all day or besides work, your hobbies are playing video games, it's just a no-go for me. So I think it is really important because also when you're in a relationship, you start to share hobbies. So 100% matters for females, I think.
I don't really think it matters too much. I think it more matters if he can distinguish time doing whatever and then time with you, or if he can blend them together. But
Oh yeah, that matters, because I feel like that just shows what you're passionate about and like how you spend your free time.
As long as he has a hobby or two, that's more important than what the actual hobby is.
Definitely important, because that's how you get to know somebody. That's how you find interests, common ground. I think it definitely matters for a guy that has hobbies versus a guy that eats potato chips all day.
And are there hobbies that you would say are more attractive versus unattractive, or do you think it's more just having a hobby?
I definitely find certain hobbies more attractive, like anything athletic, snowboarding, skateboarding, playing basketball with your friends, or a softball league, whatever the case may be. I definitely think having hobbies that are more athletic for myself personally as a woman is a little bit more attractive. And also being creative, whether that's being in photography or whatever the case may be. If you have a hobby and it fills your passion and your drive to wake up every single day, I think that's attractive.
I think it's more about having a hobby, more of like having, like just knowing yourself and knowing what you enjoy to do is important.
Yeah, I think there's more attractive hobbies than others, but I think that also matters, like person to person. Like I think cooking's an attractive hobby, working out, reading, but those are all things I'm into. So maybe like a woman likes collectible items, so when she finds a man that likes those same items, like that's really attractive to her.
I think when people are passionate about something, it's really attractive, whether it's, I don't know, being on a rowing team or sailing or drawing, being a photographer, just anything that you're super passionate about can be really cool. Obviously, we talked about the video games thing, so video games are definitely a hobby, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but the balance is really important, just like with anything.
Yeah. So even if the guy were to watch sports for 4 hours a night or play
Yeah.
video games 4 hours a night, it's about balance.
Yes.
So, okay.
Yes, always.
So I would not consider video gaming an attractive hobby, but like working on a car, that's very attractive. Or like building something around the house, like something with your hands. Very manly. I think that's more attractive.
It's attractive in general if a guy has hobbies, if you're passionate about something, and if something excites you. I think it's just, to me, it's you being human and kind of emotional in a sense. If you're passionate about something, so that's just like speaks about your emotional intelligence indirectly to me somehow. So,
Like I said, for me personally, I like a man who likes to read books or likes to go out of his way to find artistic things. For me personally, when I have nothing to do, I'll go to the art museums. I'll find museums around here. I'll go to the thrift stores. I'll go to vintage like record shops. And those things, those hobbies, like they feed my brain. So I think things like that are attractive. Unattractive hobbies, playing video games all day is an unattractive hobby for me. Another unattractive hobby for a man. Oh, a lot of people aren't going to like this. A guy who golfs all the time. I don't think there's anything wrong with golfing, but when you're with the boys all day, every day, the Saturdays, I got to go golfing with the boys. It's annoying. It's exhausting. Find something else to do. There's so many other things to do besides golf. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. I definitely do see how some could be attractive and some could be unattractive.
What about his education?
Yeah, I'm a little mixed on education. I think it's important. I think there's a difference between having an education and being educated. So I feel like it's more important to be educated, meaning they are kind of cognizant of what's going on. And even if they don't fully understand like calculus 3, like they understand kind of what's going on in the world and how to properly sort out ways to spend your money, that kind of thing.
I think that is very important because it shows like drive and that you were willing to like stick something out and finish like school if you finished college.
I mean, I think it's all about how you carry yourself. You could meet individuals that have never had a day of professional education in their life, and you know they know more than the CEO of a company. So it's all about how you carry yourself. It doesn't matter too much.
Education matters, but not so much like formal education. Like as long as you have like a life learner mentality, I think that matters more than, oh, you got a 4-year degree or you're in grad school.
Very important. Extremely important. And when you say education, I don't relate it to like where you went to school, because I don't know, you could go to Harvard, but if you're like not or if you're not with it, if you're not like that, I don't know, it doesn't say much. So I think a man that is very smart, you know, book-wise, intellectually, but then also emotionally with people, it's a huge deal, because I like to consider myself a smart individual. So if you're not like matching that energy and we can't have deep talks about like the universe or whatever, dumb, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, you know, I love to have intellectual conversations. So I think if you don't have anything to bring to the table or to the conversation, it's just like, next.
I guess it just depends on where he's at in life. Like, not everyone has to go to college, obviously. I feel like, once again, as long as he's driven and working towards something, then it doesn't really matter. Everyone does different things, but I don't like need a college education or anything like that.
I wouldn't say a degree matters to me as much as how educated you are, in the sense of how much knowledge you have about your specific career or the specific skill that you have. So I would not say a degree, but I'm big on social and self-awareness and self-improvement. So if you're into that, then that's very attractive.
Okay, what about his style?
Style matters, and even though style can be taught, like I want a man that's stylish, that can teach me, that can dress me better than I can dress myself.
Huge thing for me. I am in the fashion industry a lot, so having style and carrying yourself well is your first impression on people, whether that's, you know, your outfit for the day, your shoes, your watch, or even just a smile on your face. I think style goes a long way.
I mean, it makes a difference, but I don't think I've ever not gone out with someone because I thought they dressed poorly. And I've definitely had boyfriends that I did not like how they dressed.
I think that's very important, but then that's also an area where I'm like, oh, I can always help. And then I start like buying like shoes and like clothes.
Style to me is the way you carry yourself and your self-confidence. So if you have those two things, then definitely you're a very stylish person and a very attractive person to me.
Oh, come on, Courtney. Yes, style absolutely matters to me. As a female, and I know it does for other females too. You know, for instance, me and my girlfriends have gone out to dinner and have seen a guy in a fit and we're like, oh my God, he's not even that cute, but his outfit, it matters. It also says what they think about themselves. You know, they woke up in the morning and they want to look good, and fashion is an expression of who you are as an individual. So if you pull up in a cool outfit, or, you know, that nobody else has, it says something, and you're going to stand out.
Yeah, style's huge for me, obviously. I love to tweak and buy things and be like, you should wear this. So yeah, I think style is such a good expression of yourself. So it definitely really attracts me to someone when they have a nice sense of style. And it's not really about designer or wearing a certain brand or anything like that. It's just like kind of showing you through what you wear.
Is there a certain style that you like the most on a guy? Like, what do you love when your boyfriend wears it?
I love like funky shirts and like cool sneakers. I'm obviously more into like the street style skater kind of thing, but yeah, I usually pick stuff out for him and I'm like, you should wear this, and he's like, all right. So
I like suits, anything that's like, you know, dress up, but like for the occasion, not someone that just dresses up and then goes to like Barley House. I don't know. No, you're probably not gonna put that in because who knows what Barley House is? But
I like the modern, like business casual look. Like I like maybe like a slim straight, like slacks or pants, whatever they're called for men, and then like when they pair them with like a trendy pair of sneakers, just like a clean, well kept modern style.
Button-downs, little button-downs are the best. Dark jeans with nice shoes I think are very sexy. Just being put together as a man, having a nice watch and making sure your shirt's tucked in if it needs to be, and just being presented.
So of course, I love streetwear. I've been into streetwear for like a couple of years now. So I think a man that gets creative with that will catch my eye. But I also love like a classy, like hipster. I love like if a guy has, no, but like a nice look. Like if a guy has like, I don't know, like a vintage, like long pants on, or like a nice jacket. He's cleaned up well. I think I like that too. So a vintage street style is awesome, but I also love a man in a nice suit. You know, you can never go wrong with a man in a nice suit that likes to dress it up every once in a while. I could tell you styles I don't like. Go ahead. Like the Nike, like the boring t-shirts, the Nike shorts, the high Nike socks. Like it just looks like you rolled out of bed. You don't care. It's just obvious that you don't value yourself as much as others that do dress up nice, because again, fashion is a form of expression. Some people do, like, they don't care about it, but I don't know, if you show up looking like a bum, then I'm gonna look the other way. I don't care how cute you look.
I think it's about making a good first impression.
It's definitely about making a first good impression.
You put in effort and you
Absolutely.
See, I feel like that's changing. I feel like on the day-to-day, I like an athletic, like Lululemon on men, always love anything with that. And then going out, more cleaned up, like button down top, no khakis.
I would say just for me personally, just keeping it basic, but also like the way you carry yourself and the way you own whatever you're rocking, then that's very attractive.
Okay, what about his confidence?
That's a great one. It really just depends on the guy, because some gentlemen, right when you meet them, are very shy and, you know, they're kind of introverts, but then you get to know them a little bit and you get them out of their shell. So I think confidence all just depends on how you look at yourself. If you love yourself and you know that you have a lot of value to bring to a person, I think you should just rock with that.
Confidence matters a lot, and the ability to command a room when you walk into a room and just making eye contact with people in the room. It's kind of like an alpha move for me. So just standing up straight, making eye contact, saying hi to people, and just being a happy person in general, it's a big thing.
Confidence matters.
Confidence is huge for me because I pride myself in being a lady with a lot of confidence. And so if you're getting insecure about like me talking to another guy or things like that, you should be confident in yourself. So yeah, confidence is a huge thing for me. And I think it exuberates. If a man walks into a room and it's confident, you can tell. Insecurity is so unattractive. It's a big deal for ladies, I think.
Yeah, I would say confidence is important, but cockiness is not good. So there has to be balance. I don't like a guy I don't think anyone likes a guy that's just kind of sorry for himself and tries to play that role.
Confidence is huge. I think when you're not secure in yourself, it projects into your relationship very much. Everyone is insecure, but I think you have to have self-confidence to have successful relationships with anyone. Insecurity kills relationships. So just having self-worth, you know, because you can really love someone, but you have to love yourself at the end of the day and look out for yourself and not live for someone else. So yeah, confidence is huge.
I think confidence is important. Yeah, that matters.
And what are some signs you notice that will tell you if a guy is confident versus insecure?
I think like if we're going out and you're comparing yourself to other guys, like talking bad about like another guy that's like in the same area, definitely shows like low confidence. If you're constantly trying to like prove how you are an alpha male, or like you're even putting down like other women, or like trying to belittle like things that other girls or women are doing, low confidence, like not making eye contact.
Think posture, how they add to a conversation that's going on, the volume and the tone of their voice when they speak.
I think confidence shines through with like eye contact, the way they treat people, lack of jealousy. I don't think you have to boast who you are to come off as confident. Actually, I think that comes off as more insecure. It just comes off when you're sure of yourself, when you're sure of yourself, like how you treat people, interact with them, just having a smile on your face. And yeah, it just shines through naturally, honestly. Where insecurity, I think when people judge other people, make little comments, yeah.
I guess the way he responds to other people is when you can really tell if he's someone who gets offended really easily. I would say that's pretty clear that he's insecure. If he feels the need to bring you down, he's insecure. If he's just, I think if he's, I don't want to say perfect gentleman, but if he treats you well and he doesn't do anything that he needs to apologize for, that's a good sign that he's comfortable in his own skin.
What posture, honestly, is a huge thing. If you walk in and your shoulders are up and your head is forward, posture is a really big thing. Another thing that I'm trying to think that would exuberate confidence, I think that also goes back to style, the way you dress, and it's a communication thing. Just like getting to know you and talking to you, it's funny because vibes are so real. You can walk into a room and like feel the energy. You can meet somebody and feel the energy. So it's almost an energy thing. If you're very confident, you're going to be able to feel that almost without saying it. So.
Okay, what about his place?
Place matters. I think cleanliness matters the most. Like, it doesn't have to be well decorated or well furnished or anything. I mean, at least like have a couch and maybe some kitchen utensils, but cleanliness like tops all of the factors.
I think obviously a space where a person lives is a big indication of how they treat themselves and they respect themselves. So if it's clean, if it's well put together, then that means that you're kind of like your mind is decluttered. But if it's cluttered, then it's just like speaks volumes to the kind of person you are. Yeah, so a clean space is a nice space. It doesn't matter if it's big or small.
I like when guys keep it clean. Dishes are done, fresh towels. I feel like putting the seat down, cleaning the bathroom. Yeah, when I walk into your space, if it's just totally trashed, I feel uncomfortable. So, which is funny because I have clothes all over my room all the time, but it's really just like the trash and things piling up that I'm like, and please like wash your sheets like once a week, or I don't know.
It depends. Location, maybe not so much, but like overall tidiness of the home. I definitely don't want to walk into something that looks like a smelly bachelor pad. But I mean, it just depends on how you keep your place.
Architect or like the building itself doesn't matter, but is your apartment clean? Is it decorated? Does it smell good?
Yeah, it definitely matters because I want to be somewhere that's comfortable and like a safe area. Like, definitely, I feel like when you walk into someone's apartment, like the first thing is the smell. Make sure it smells clean, like take out the trash, do your dishes, like just basic, wash the floors. I feel like that's like a good, as long as it smells good and it's clean and like I really like minimal, like you don't have a bunch of junk everywhere and trash. Like I totally accept the Pokemon cards, but like put them in a drawer for the first time maybe.
Does he live in the hood? That's kind of a problem. But if it's a mansion versus like a one bedroom, I don't think it's that important. Well, if it's messy, I'm offended because I feel like you should be presenting it, you should look your best and your place should look presentable, not just for me, but for any guest.
And then last one on this list is his penis size.
Ooh, that's a good question. He's got to know how to work it. I think average, honestly, like the average size is very ideal. I think, this is so dirty, the girth matters too. Girth matters. But yeah, I mean, he could have a large penis and be the biggest asshole, and he could also have a medium-sized penis and be the greatest dude you ever met. So it all depends on what you're bringing to the table other than,
I would say it matters to some people and not as much to others. I would actually say it does matter, but everyone has a different preference. Okay. So it doesn't need to be like necessarily like a foot long, Some people like it when it's like average size.
Okay, perfect.
I would say size does not matter as long as you're skillful in other things.
Oh, yeah, no, I feel like it's just sex is not all about size, and I feel like it's really about connection between two people. So you could be, but you have to like connect with your person, or else none of it matters, honestly.
I definitely feel like it's the motion of the ocean. Like, I'm not a hater of, I'm not going to be like a hater, but I feel like, yeah, I feel like it matters like somewhat to some extent, but it's not like that's not like the only, like the one all be all, you know?
I don't know if size actually matters. It's more of being, what's the word? I don't know if size actually matters. It's more of being like happy with the sex life between you and that person.
As they say, it's not about the boat, it's the motion in the ocean, but I would prefer to be on a yacht in the middle of the ocean, you know, so.
All right, guys, that is all I have for this video. If you like this style of video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me over on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys over on there as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.